How's it going? I'm Ryan. Today, I'm going to go over the one trade that I took on NQ. I've officially made the switch to futures, so was trading SPY and QQQ, now just trading the futures alternatives, ES and NQ. Of course, I'm trading the micros, still have a small account, so MES and MNQ. Regardless, though, we are switched over to futures. I'll go over that in a little bit. I did not stream this morning because my streaming software had an update. Once I had downloaded that, then it required me to update my GPU to run the streaming software. So just kind of ran into some technical complications there. So did not stream this morning. I apologize for that. I did trade, but I did not live stream it. The stream will be back starting tomorrow. All things regular on schedule from here on out. But we can take a look at a few levels I was watching on NQ. I realized I didn't quite have these levels to the upside from previous all-time highs. We set a new all-time high today. We can take a look at some of the levels I did have on my watch list here. So we were watching yesterday's high day. We had this pre-market low and yesterday's low day. The pre-market low and yesterday's low day didn't really come into play. Likewise, this zone here that we had didn't come into play. This zone did. This zone was support last Wednesday or so. Resistance following couple days, and was around yesterday's high day. So around 18,287 to 18,280 or 280 or so, we'll call it. Above that, we had Monday's high day. And then we had this swing high from last Wednesday as well. Not quite sure why I didn't chart out levels from all-time high, but you can see that we hit that area in there and had a slight pullback before continuing. We had FOMC Interest Rate Decision today, so that happened later in the day. That happened right here at 12 my time, so at noon my time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Coming into the day, I knew that we would face some chop due to this interest rate decision coming in later in the day. With that being said, knowing that we'd get some chop probably would have been the best decision to just avoid taking a trade in the morning, because you're going to get that low volume chop. But anytime you have major news in the evening or the afternoon, the mornings are going to be slow. So with that being said, probably shouldn't have taken a trade at all today, but I did, and it was a very small loss, and I'll talk about why I took the trade here. So we started off the morning a little weak, kind of fell down below yesterday's high day here. Looked maybe like we were forming a flag, so I drew this support. We held that, however, got a quick pop once we broke out this resistance here, and then sold right back down through. Right back into this area that we kind of consolidated for a while and started chopping around. So I took my trade right in here. I took a put somewhere. I took my put somewhere in here around 182.60 because we got this little break here. Was looking for about low a day. I had a really tight stop loss, so I had a 4-point stop loss. If you're unfamiliar with futures, there's a dollar amount per point. So here you see increments of 20. I'm trading micro NQ. So each point is a $2 gain or loss, depending on which way you're trading it. So I had a 4-point stop, which would be an $8 stop loss. That's one reason I switched to futures, is because unlike options trading, you don't have the Greeks, you don't have theta, you don't have implied volatility, you don't have 0 day till expiration. So you don't have expiration dates, you don't have the volatility that you get with options, and so you're able to get a much more accurate understanding or kind of prediction of how much you will gain or lose on any given trade based off of these points. So you know that if it moves 10 points, you're going to have a specific amount of money gained or lost. So I set a 4-point stop loss, knowing that these contracts are $2 per point, which would be an $8 loss, which is super small. And that's the whole reason I did it, because we were having a choppy day. I didn't expect much, and I just wanted to kind of get in the rhythm of placing trades. I've been demo trading while I'm getting prepared to trade live. So nonetheless, I just wanted to get kind of in the habit of placing a trade, setting my stop, setting my my take profit, and letting that play out. But I had a very tight stop. As you can see, each line here is 10 points, and swinging 10 points happens even in this chop. You're getting 20-point swings within 5-minute candles. So a 4-point stop is really, really tight. And so I did get stopped out here. Why did I take the trade? I took the trade because we had set this low right here. So we had tried to pop up, rejected pretty hard, kind of had this low, and then we broke that low. And as we came up, we had EMA in this area. But overall, it wasn't a great trade, right? What I want to see is a break and retest of these zones. So something, I mean, this is obviously very manipulated by all that volume and volatility coming out from the FOMC meeting, but a break above this level, retest and hold in continuation. Like I said, that's not a great example. We didn't have very many great examples. This would have been a better example here. We had this breakdown, this retest of the zone, and then continued sell-off. That's a, like a 30-point move or so on a single micro contract. That's $60. So this would have been a better setup. I kind of missed that. We also had that 9 EMA in that area as well. So this was actually in the morning a pretty decent setup. We had weakness where we retested the broken zone and that EMA. That would have been a decent trade to take short there. But taking this trade in here wasn't great. I don't really have a great explanation other than we just, we're setting a lower low. And I was looking to see if we got continuation and just wanted to get more familiar with trading futures. So today's trade was kind of a wash. That's why I set a stop loss so tight. I didn't want to risk much money. I just wanted to kind of get in the habit of placing a trade, setting my stop loss, etc. There will be more coming from this week. I will continue to trade futures. I'm still trying to dial in strategy with futures. The price action mimics QQQ if you're trading NQ, or SPY if you're trading ES. It mimics it pretty much exactly 1-to-1. For example, we're looking at NQ here. If I pull up QQQ, of course these zones are not relevant because they're from last week when I was trading, but you can see the price action is really the same, right? Came down, kind of chopped, got that pop, came down, broke like the candles, the price action, pretty much exactly the same. So trying to decide if I want to trade based off QQQ and SPY because that's what I'm used to watching and charting. But then comes the question of, knowing where exactly I want to put my stop, etc. As I will be trading MNQ and MES. Still trying to dial some of that in. So there will be some trial and error coming up. In the meantime, like I said, I'm sticking to micros. I'm trading one contract at a time, so very minimal risk until I get comfortable and more familiar with it. I can, talk more about why I switched to futures, why I want to try it out, why I'm trading them. But basically the answer is a little bit more consistent. You know what you're risking each time you trade. You know the exact amount to expect off a win, off a loss. And that kind of consistency is something that I'm excited for, especially as I look to increase my own consistency and my own profitability. Just having more consistent results, being able to understand exactly what I'm risking, get a more accurate risk to reward ratio per trade, those sort of things. So also there's tax benefits, etc. I'm not, while I'm not profitable, I don't have to worry about that. But that is something in the future to be weighed as well. There are tax benefits to trading futures as opposed to 0-day expiration options. So there's a lot kind of packed in there. Like I said, this morning, not the greatest time to trade. I honestly probably shouldn't have traded this morning just based on kind of this chop that we had, this rangy chop. You could have, there was obvious support zone, obvious resistance zone. So you could have gotten some decent, 20-point swings on NQ, making, decent money. But nonetheless, I think I got a little impatient and just wanted to try out a trade. My first day trading futures and my first day back in over a week of not trading. So we'll look to tighten it up. I think the rest of the week should be a little bit better in terms of price action now that we have this FOMC interest rate decision coming out. That's all I got for you. I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. I do trade live Monday through Friday, so I'll be trading the rest of the week live. And I would love to have you if you feel so inclined to stop by. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.